Kings Island is one of the most highly regarded theme parks in the Midwest, and I've had the pleasure of visiting this park many times. So today, I'm going to give you guys my thoughts on everything Kings Island, from the rides, the food, and any other recommendations I have for planning a visit to this excellent theme park. So without further ado, let's get straight into my review of Kings Island. Kings Island is most known for its incredible ride lineup. So let's go through my top 5 rides of this absolutely stacked ride lineup. Number 5, The Beast. The Beast is one of, if not the most legendary roller coasters of all time. It has a ridiculous amount of track and a layout that takes you through the woods of the back of Kings Island. Not to mention, without the Beast, we may not have many of the great wooden roller coasters we have today. This ride, without a doubt, earned its spot on the list for both what it did for the industry as well as its great ride experience. Number 4, Banshee. Banshee is one of the most interesting roller coasters I've ridden, partially because it defies a lot of the B&M invert blueprint, but it ends up being just as good, if not even better than some of the older inverts. Whereas the older inverts used quick, tight elements that had lots of varieties of forces, Banshee uses more floaty and intense elements that feel distinctly different to those on the older models. And for the most part, I loved it. The drop is incredible in the back, the ride has tons of positive G's in the valleys, and all of the elements seem to hit regardless of what row you sit in or what time of day, though it does noticeably run quite a bit faster in the night, so I would definitely recommend riding it then. All of this culminates in this being one of my favorite inverts to date. Number 3, Mystic Timbers. Mystic Timbers is a fantastic wooden coaster from GCI. The layout is really creative and hits on almost all of the marks. The one downside for me being that the pacing can feel a little off at points, and that the ride itself is a little short compared to a lot of the other roller coasters on this list. Another thing that may have impacted my rating is that I rode Gold Striker at CGA before I rode Mystic, and that ride is just one of the best I've ever ridden. It's incredible. And this ride is just kind of a very slightly worse version of it, so that may have impacted my perception of the ride. But overall, Mystic is still a great ride, and should be very high on your list when you visit the park. Number 2, Orion. Orion is the tallest, fastest, and longest steel roller coaster at the park, dropping over 300 feet and traveling over 90 miles per hour. And while its layout does have some dead spots, it has some great forces and airtime, as well as that massive drop that puts you out of your seat for a while. Overall, Orion is a really solid ride that complements my number 1 roller coaster really well. And that number 1 coaster is Diamondback. Diamondback is my favorite hypercoaster and my favorite ride in the park. I just love the sheer amount of airtime you get. It is insane traveling from hill to hill, getting lifted out of your seat for up to 5 seconds. And the ride hits all of the other marks well. It isn't rough or uncomfortable, it looks fantastic, and it has great trains. This is a great number 1 roller coaster for the park. Kings Island is split up into 5 main sections, 3 of which having really good theming. Sorry Action Zone and Planet Snoopy, you didn't quite cut it. So let's go through those 3 and talk a little bit about what makes them interesting. Number 1, Area 72. This area is the most recent themed area at Kings Island, and I believe it was done really well. The whole area ties you into the space theme really well, and Orion being the anchor attraction fits that perfectly. I also really like the little nods to other attractions around the area, as it adds a little bit of charm in my eyes. The only real drawback of this area is that there is a significant lack of shade. But I think that's kind of intentional, given the whole futuristic modern theme, so I won't dock any points for that. Number 2, Rivertown. Rivertown is the best area in the park for rides, and is likely where you'll spend most of your time if you're a coaster enthusiast. The land is well presented, and all of the attractions follow the central theme of, get this, a river town. The land isn't immaculately themed or anything, but I feel like the small touches the park put in make it feel really nice and cozy. Number 3, International Street. This is the area that greets you as you enter the park. There are tons of differently themed buildings and restaurants and shops that you can go into and get things from all around the world, which is super cool, even though the concept has been done many times in the past. This land also has the really cool Eiffel Tower, which gives a great view of the park from over 300 feet up. This section of the park is really charming and does a great job of showing some of the park's history. Most regional theme parks are not known for having excellent food, but I find that Kings Island is a little bit of an exception, having great food across the board. One of my favorite places, and the place I absolutely recommend you go to, is Grain and Grill towards the front of the park. It has fantastic chicken tenders and a lot of other great options that are not only on the healthier side, but also taste great. There are also quite a few other options for food, one of my favorite of which being the Fest House, which I've eaten at quite a few times, which has a lot of different options under one large roof, which offers a great place to go in the hot Midwest summers. Overall, Kings Island has some really above average food that I would definitely recommend checking out in your visit to the park. Final thoughts. Kings Island is one of the best parks in the Midwest, and even if it gets overshadowed by its brother up north, it will always be a great park on its own because of its great history and incredible rides that offers a great complement to Cedar Point in many ways. And the park also does a lot of things really well, like the theming and the food that may not be as prevalent in a park like Cedar Point. Overall, Kings Island is a fantastic theme park, and I really do recommend a visit. Thank you guys so much for watching this short review of the park. See you next time. Bye.